school. There's an official school song, and a suitable alternative should be found. But with that said, I'd like to point out that I don't think this part of the history of Pomona College should be swept under the rug. I don't think it should just be disbanded now that we know that the school song is somehow tainted with this evil history, that we should fail to acknowledge the role that it had for now 80 years in the school community.
Definitely. I don't think there even should have been a reaction. I felt like if they had phrased this history in their own words and made it look respectable, there wouldn't have been such a need to research it at all. And I feel like this can be applied to a slew of other topics here at Pomona. Like, there was like a lot of sexism in the 80s and 70s. There is the Christian routes, which is not entirely related, but there's the whole thing about the segregated campus by sex, where the men lived on North Campus, the women lived on South Campus, and the women had a curfew at 6 o'clock. So that's why all the doors on South Campus have glass doors on the outside. If they missed their curfew, they were punished. The men didn't have a curfew. This, all these kinds of things you learn eventually if you want to, but they don't really tell you up front, which is understandable. But I definitely think what should happen is a broader discussion on the facts, and I think that would resolve some people's, I guess, problem situation with the idea of change.
I think it should also be mentioned, Cyrus, that in Lyons' History of Pomona College, 1888 to 1969, there's an upfront admittance of the fact that this was a minstrel show. And in that history, in that time period, perhaps it still was not as stigmatized and necessarily understood as it is today. And so at that point, the school administration chose to admit it openly in a publication, and then move on from it. And to that degree, it should also be understood that perhaps this school history was just forgotten with time, and we should make sure that the institutions that we continue to support are equally understood in our own day, rather than let a history kind of lapse out of existence and the institution remain.
Yeah, exactly. You have any other thoughts?
Just that I encourage any interested Pomona students to research. There is a wealth of information and opportunities and grants available to do research, and I would like to thank the Hart Institute specifically for granting me mine and giving me a great summer. So, that's it, and good luck with your research. So, I'm going to run, I actually have a meeting, I think,